people coming in for testing has been dropping. We normally get 3 or 4 a month, but for the last couple of months, we've been at 0. So I attribute it to people being busy and a lack of interest in amateur.
And not willing to spend $35.
I think the fees did a good job of choking what little life was left. We were talking about that at the room before the meeting started. Right now, it costs $35 for most things to do with your licenses. There are some clubs that are still charging the $15 ARRL fee. We're not, okay? But we've had people come from all over Oklahoma to come to our tests. We've had people come up from Texas to take tests here. So it still costs $35 to get the license, but at least it doesn't cost them to take the exam. And I think that amount of money for something they may or may only be marginally interested in is one of the limiting factors. Just a thought. Anyway, that's it for the testing. We'll still have testing next year, and Tom, I need to coordinate to make sure that we bring the testing gear to field day also, in case somebody wants to test. So, Tech Committee report. Dave, Dwayne, who's speaking?
Yeah, we got lots of updates in this area. Well, probably very soon we'll have 3 of our repeaters. We actually have 4 allocated frequencies. We'll have 3 of those repeaters operational. Today, 8.2 is working as well as it can work in its given environment. Come on up here, Lucian. You can hear well up here. Come on. It's working well. We've had discussion about improving the antenna situation down there to improve the coverage. For those of you that don't know, currently the antenna is inverted, pointing downward, and it's on the northwest side of the tower, which effectively blocks the coverage in the southeast part. Del City, Midwest City, and it seems like that's where a lot of repeater users live. So we went down, Dwayne and I made a field trip down to visit with Gene at Black's Radio last week, and talked to him, and it turns out that he's had some customers abandon coverage there. So there's a set of positions on the northeast side of the tower, and one of which will allow us to mount the antenna upright vertically, which would give it much better omnidirectional coverage. I can't quantify how much of an improvement that would be. The easy thing is to probably just take the antenna we have, invert it, turn it up there, and remount it. The antenna is a commercial antenna designed for 155, I think, megahertz. A lot of hams repeaters use those, but it doesn't provide the ideal coverage and SWR, so it's not a perfect match. There is a DB224E antenna that is designed specific, hard to find, but designed specifically for ham VHF frequencies. If you can find one, they're about $1,075 and plus freight to get them here. I can't quantify how much of an improvement that would be. It would be somewhat better, but maybe the easy thing to do is just take the antenna we have, invert it, and see how it goes. It's probably an hour or so of work, and maybe we can get it. I haven't discussed that yet with our tower climber guy. We have identified that I'll talk about later. So anyway, that's a way forward. At this point, he has no new customers anticipating putting antennas up in that area, so he's given us the okay to go ahead and do that. Any questions about that before we move on? Okay, the second thing is a real success story, and that's the UHF repeater that's up on Baptist and Tegris. It's 443.275 is the frequency, and now, thanks to Dwayne's diligence, we've got the WiresX part connected to the WiresX worldwide network, and it's quasi-permanently linked to the Oklahoma Link network, which covers Grand Lake area, Tulsa, Wasso, and, all the way down to the south. So pretty much the whole state. So if you have a fusion radio and you key up that repeater just without doing anything else, anytime you PTT, you go all up and down the line. You got continuous coverage. There's nothing you have to do with linking or unlinking. I have 2 radios back there for sale if you want to get on Yaesu Fusion and Mars X today, and come see me at the end if you're interested. And I also brought my HT. I can give you a demo of how this network works. So, any questions about that repeater before we move on? It doesn't, if you're in the FM mode, it doesn't have much of a squelch tail. Sometimes you get a little bit of a one, but quite often you don't. It doesn't mean you didn't get access to it. As time permits, if I get down there, we'll lengthen that squelch tail and make it a little bit more pronounced. So that'll give you a confirmation if you're making